Hey students, it's Miss Barnes here, and I wanted to shoot a little video today to explain something that I think several of you are going to be ready to do. It's a process that can be called speed stitching or sewing stitching, and it is a way to eliminate traveling from the front of the Aida to the back of the Aida so that you're actually losing time. This is a stitch that allows you to do two things at once, which in the very end of any patterns that we're working through, like I said, can just be a time saver. So I'm going to show it a few times, talk through it also, and then feel free to rewind this video as often as needed. So what we know right now, or what's been our standard, is this dynamic of moving from front to back on those diagonal lines. That'll make sense to everybody so far, starting on the left corner to right corner. And then once we get the needle to the back of the canvas, we got to move back to the front, so on and so forth. A dynamic of speed stitching, though, eliminates that transfer. So it looks like this. So if I'm starting my needle on the back, I'm coming forward. When I go to the corner, I stop and I set my needle so that I actually come through. I'm switching hands. I'm doing this as a lefty, which I am not. And I come through, and on that first motion, I catch the opening, that perforation that is directly underneath me. And I pull my needle through. In this, you make your diagonal, and you're immediately ready for your next stitch. Let's look at that again. So I'm going to take the diagonal, that I know. The new step here, don't press that needle all the way to the back. Catch the perforation that is immediately underneath you. So 2 motions in one. You make the diagonal, and you're ready to start your next stitch. All right, one more time. Here we go. Diagonal. Set yourself up to catch the next perforation directly underneath you. Bam. 1, 2. Connect that diagonal. And then reset. You can do the same process when you're changing directions or moving into a next row. Same rules apply. You catch the diagonal, but go ahead, take a minute, find the next perforation. So essentially you're making a straight line with your needle, and you move back. Boop. So you've made your diagonal, and you're already there to start the new stitch. Let's do it again. Some of the things that can happen, you want to make sure your line is out of your way, or you can make this big nasty knot unexpectedly. So be aware of where this is all hanging out. Again, catch the diagonal, catch the vertical, and you're prepped. If you need to at any time, you can switch back to that old way of stitching if your brain just can't process this. That's a little too much that I threw at you there. Some students really gravitate to speed stitching. For some students, it gets weird. It's a little too overwhelming. I'm going to let you, though, experiment with some of this. Either the 2-part motion that we've been starting from, or going into speed stitching, which is, again, starting from where you need to start. Catch that diagonal. In this case, let's look at something even a little more advanced. If I'm done with the end of my row and I need to go on to the next row, same thing. You're just making that line. You're taking care of 2 motions in once. You're going to where you need to get to for the next row or that next space. So again, you're crossing and you're prepped for the next one all in one. Good luck. Give it a try this week.